After a long, hard day of cleaning bathrooms for her mum, Alice said, "Why bother?" "I'm bored and mad as ever," as she sat in her room. "Who cares?" said her sister. "Read a book or take a nap." "I'm too tired to read." So while Alice lay on her bed in a dark room, the curtains started blowing and making tall, mysterious figures. Her imagination started playing games with her. With all these dark shadows, she fell into a deep, deep sleep. All of a sudden, she found herself falling down a long hole that seemed to take forever. She fell for what seems to be forever, tumbling and falling. She didn't know what she had gotten herself into. When she stopped falling, she asked herself, "Is this the other side of Earth? Are we in China yet?" and started to giggle. Surprisingly, when she landed, it did not hurt. "No chores here," said the rabbit. There is a white rabbit with a pocket watch and an overcoat grimacing at her. A talking rabbit? Alice thought she must have hit her head very hard because now she was hearing things. "How awesome," said Alice, "and I'm not even at the zoo." The rabbit had on a white ironed suit and wore a tall hat like the maitre d'. "I feel put out of place now. I have nothing fancy to wear. I wonder if he does tricks too," she said to herself. "I don't want to piss this one off." "What do you mean, where have I been?" asked Alice. "Yes," said the rabbit. She had never seen a rabbit with a watch and suit before. She said to herself, "Who are you?" "Follow me," he said. "We are going on a journey." "I don't think so," said Alice. "What else do you have to do?" said the rabbit. "You've been complaining all night about being bored." "How do you know what I was thinking?" said Alice. "You dream very loudly," said the rabbit. "I hear so many things." So down this dirty tunnel, they both went to find the trial of the doors. Yet right in front of her, where she landed in front of the door, there is this table with a golden key. Perplexed, she figures that the golden key must go in the first door so that she can get out, even though she just got here. So she tries it. When she turns the key, it leads her to an enchanted garden. But Alice is too tall to pass through. There is a tiny garden inside that she could never touch. "How lovely, Dot. But I can get in. This door is too small for me. Way too small. At this rate, I will never get back home." Then she sees a cake, with it written on it saying, "Eat me." That's odd, she thought. How would a cake know that I am here? She carefully reads the ingredients to see if it's poison or something bad. She barely tastes it and discerns that it is sweet. "Just don't tell my mum," as she grows immeasurably large. "Oh no!" she cries out loud. Now everything has shrunk immeasurably small and cumbersome around me. She feels like a Oompa Pala with large hands and thinks, "Who would ever marry me now?" A tearful bath, and she starts to cry. "I feel so powerless with no mommy or daddy to help me. No one to save me," she exclaimed. "What have I done?" she asks herself. "I should have left well enough alone." Yet there is a tiny cake under the table labelled, "Eat me." Feeling resigned with no other plan at the moment, she surrenders to the moment, not thinking wisely, eats it and grows. She lies in a pool of tears. "I should have left well enough alone." She sees herself so small with no friends at all. She takes a small bite, and now she grows way too tall. "This will never do. Plus, none of my clothes will ever fit." Alice is so lost. So she starts to swim in her pool of tears. Yet they are all of these other animals swimming with her too. So she doesn't feel so all alone. There is a very nice mouse who is behind her. But Alice keeps wishing her cat were with her too, which makes Mr. Mouse very uncomfortable. Do you want to eat me as well, to Alice? Alice just laughs, silly mouse. No, I'm older than you, Mr. Lorry. So that means I am smarter than you. So now you must behave. Finally, Alice and all of the animals reach the shore, but they are all sopping wet with Alice's salty tears. How are we going to meet the king and queen? Alice asks. Our clothes are ruined, she says. Well, just have to make a run for it, says the mouse. The faster you run, the quicker you dry. It was almost a race. I wonder who won, asked the rabbit. I think everyone did, said the turtle. No one loses in Wonderland. Nothing for gifts. Do, the turtle asks if Alice has anything in her pockets. Well, I do have this tiny thimble there for some reason. Well, hand it over, says Juju. Well, that was rather short and crass, she says to herself. Alice hands it over, and the turtle promptly makes a short speech, saying how wonderful it is to have Alice. How she is here with us on swimming day. He hands it back like he has owned it. Like it is a present. How odd, Alice thought. But not to make matters worse, she accepts the gift and says nothing at the absurdity. People giving nothing gifts? The rabbit returns and demands his white gloves back. I don't have them, she replies, and then proceeds to look for them. Getting lost in the forest, she happens upon a tiny house and steps in. There is a mirror in it, and she appears quite large, as in, how did I ever fit in here? All of which Alice finds so distressing. How will I ever make it to the ball when I am so hideous? Fret not, says the tiny lizard. I'm quite small and green, but so are so many of the animals who all love dancing with me. Size is really a matter of taste. Really, says Alice. What do I know? I'm just a little girl with big ideas. I guess I have a lot to learn while growing up. So Alice continues her walk within the woods. A caterpillar smoking a hookah, puffing away, making small animals with his smoke rings. How clever, she thought. He sat high above in his mushroom-like he had nothing to do all day. Oh, that he said, this is my make-believe pipe. People think I'm smarter if I'm from India and speak with an accent. They call that exotic. In the land of make-believe, you can be whomever you want. Whenever you want, it's called using your imagination. Indeed, he had nothing better to do. No job, no prospects, no money or future except one. He told everyone he was going to be a beautiful butterfly someday. While they all laughed at this small, slimy, green, slivering thing, how could he ever become a butterfly someday? Just give me some time, he said, as he lay in his chrysalis snugly like a king. I dare you to write a poem for me, asks the caterpillar. Poems make me grow, or a song from your lips makes me so happy. What says Alice? Because I will change quite seriously if you speak to me in a beautiful poem, or sing me a song, I will become a butterfly. Words and melodies are like that. They can take us 1,000,000 miles away from our troubles, away for the boogie-woogie man, soothing the beast within us, inspiring us all to be. That's what dreaming is for, to see. Dreaming. All the kids do it. It's because they own absolutely nothing of their own. And they get tired of grown-ups telling them what they can and can't do with all of their stupid rules that make no sense. So we have this place called make-believe, that no adult can enter, You have to be tiny and not afraid of failing or falling. You have to be brave enough to try, brave enough to encounter failure, which can happen 3 times a day. You have to be brave enough to stand up, to conquer fearlessly. With that, the butterfly takes off on her own, never to be seen again. She is her own master now. Alice happens upon the trial of the Knave of Hearts, the very tall Queen's personal assistant, who has stolen the Queen of Hearts. Yet no matter what Alice says, it isn't good enough. She is just a cute little girl with curly auburn hair who is having a bad day. Everyone is so demanding, she thought. The bossy queen has had quite enough and orders that her head be cut off for insubordination. Insubordination? What is that? Asked Alice. That's when you are so crass and rude. With that, Alice awakens from her dream in a cold sweat, and she doesn't know where she is until she looks down and sees that she is in her bed. That somehow, she hasn't moved an inch, but 1,000 miles away,